Gamers of Reddit, what are the strangest things you've heard over an open mic? Several years ago I was doing a 40-person raid in WoW. Many people in the guild were from Cat. At the time I lived in Oakland. We hear one guy around Napa call out, "Whoa." Then a few seconds later I feel a pretty substantial earthquake and announce it over vent. A few seconds a couple people around St. Joe's chime and they're surprised too. It was pretty cool to hear how the quake rippled south in real time. Not really strange as in creepy, but I was playing XGO match when a kid on my team yelled "Ha, get fucked" after getting a kill. Then our entire team hears him screaming, crying, and begging for forgiveness from his mother beating him for cussing that loud. Was getting full on cussed out by a kid easily around 5 or 6. He was literally saying "fuck you, you fucking cunt. I hope Satan rapes your ass and his spludge gets in your shitty eyes, you stupid little ass fucker." So we started firing back at him with everything we had. We kind of made him cry. Then his mom gets on the mic and starts yelling at us. She's telling us how we are setting a bad example for her child and we shouldn't be using that kind of language around someone his age. So we went off on her too. Explained that her kid was being a sailor-mouthed little shit. She started yelling at us saying that her kid can do whatever he wants. So we said that if he's going to talk shit like an adult then he's going to have shit talked back to him like he's an adult. She gets even more pissed. This is the best fucking part. I'm still laughing about this. The fucking grandmother gets on the mic and starts spouting off to us. She's saying that her daughter is a fantastic mother and we need to leave them alone or she's going to call the police. We managed to piss a kid off so bad that we got yelled at by 3 generations of that family in the span of a few minutes. God, it was fantastic. For those of you that are curious, we were playing Advanced Warfare. All credit goes to /u/SC2 bench, but I thought this was a really good story given the question. I have legitimately heard someone on my team break up with a girl during a game of Dota on voice. He was using open mic, and she was like, "Get off that stupid game. Take me out to dinner," in this horribly entitled voice. After around 10 minutes of him being calm and saying things like, "It's okay baby, just let me finish this game. I will get punished if I leave," and her just not understanding that she issued an ultimatum. "If you don't turn that game off right now and take me to dinner, I'm leaving." And he just typed in chat, "Pause please. Need to break up with my GF," and everyone lolled and paused and the dude just went fucking ballistic like, "This is my apartment. You stay here on my dime. I buy you all your food. I give you money to go shopping. You don't get to issue ultimatums to me when you don't have shit without me. Get the fuck out of my apartment. This relationship is over." Then it was lots of her crying and yelling and bringing up all this shit he did wrong in the past, as if that was going to help, and eventually he just said, "Sorry, relationship is over. I don't care. Bring a truck and one of those Doucher bag bar guys you love to fuck so much to get your stuff tomorrow. See if any of them are willing to clothe, feed, house and fuck you." And everyone on voice chat just went ooh, and we were typing everything that was happening to the enemy team. He eventually got her out of the apartment and boy did it sound like the guy had a world of pressure off his shoulders. After the game I friended him. We still talk on Steam sometimes. He really ended the relationship and ended up just putting all her shit in a storage locker when she didn't come get it for a week. He has a new girl now who apparently isn't as awful. Playing GTA V and some kid's dad comes in and starts telling the kid to go to his room. Kid refuses and dad gets a little yelly. Finally dad says, "Fine, you don't have to leave." Then yells, "Honey, he's not gonna leave." Then I hear the unmistakable sounds of a couple having very loud sex. I thought it was hilarious until I heard, "What the fuck are you looking at? Just play your game. Come on honey, suck my cock." I muted that shit right away. Kid would rather be in a room with his parents fucking than quit GTA V. Playing with a pug in Destiny, we had just finished a raid and we were taking a 15-minute smoke break before jumping into the next one. It was winter, and one of the guys had stepped outside for a quick smoke and still had his headset on. A few minutes into the break we hear an "oh shit," then the sound of someone banging on doors and windows as he tried to get back inside his house. Apparently he has locked himself out and didn't have a way back in. Realizing he still had his headset, he put the earphones back on and was like, "Guys, I need help. I'm locked out of my house without a jacket and I don't have my phone. I asked if there was anyone that I could call. Dude couldn't recall his mother/dad/sister/etc phone numbers off the top of his head. I asked where he lived and started to pull up the non-emergency police contact for his area. Then he had a bright idea. Dude, call the Arbors in State X, Town Y off Z Road, and ask for Sarah, that's my sister. Tell her to call my mom, so she can bring the spare set of keys over. So that's what I did. I called and she was the one to actually answer the phone. Phone is answered. Me, hey, is the assistant manager named Sarah there? Huh, yeah, that's me. What can I do for you? Me, this is a bit odd, but I'm playing an online game with your brother Andrew. He stepped out for a smoke and locked himself out without a jacket. He doesn't have his phone, so he told me to call you, so you could call your mom to see if she can bring the spare keys over. Huh, oh no, yeah I can do that. Are you one of my brother's friends? Me, nope, just met him online today. I live about 1,500 miles from your location. Huh, oh, okay well thanks for calling and letting me know. I'll call mom and let her know. We say bye and phone call ends. About 5 minutes later I get a call from the same area code, different number though, and it's dude's mom in a slight panic asking if her son was okay and having me let him know she was on her way right now. I played operator for about 20 minutes until she got to his place. One of the most interesting online gaming moments for me was playing League while talking to some guys over TeamSpeak. Dude says he'll be right back, but leaves his mic on. Out of nowhere, you hear him and his dad getting into a massive fight. When the fight was nearly over, we heard the dad scream, "And why does your room smell like shit?" And the kid replied, "'Cause I shit in it." Dude hasn't been back on that TS since. Was playing World of Tanks on Xbox 360, and this guy on my team, who was playing in a German tank, was blaring German military music from WW2 over the mic. It wasn't strange, more so an out of the blue sort of thing. I will eat you and shit you out, so I may fertilize my garden with your soul. Back when MW2 was in its heyday, I joined a lobby that happened to have a bunch of Brits queued together. When teams were made they were all on one team and my team was all random Americans. One of us says, "Oh hey it's funny how that happened," to which one of the Brits replies, "Shut up you fat American pig." By God it was on at that point. It was American Revolution Part 2. Freedom rings twice. To their credit it was super close. But we wanted, no needed, to win so bad we became a fine-tuned machine and began dominating. By the last 10 seconds of the match we knew we won, and began chanting "USA USA USA" over and over. They tried to object, but our chants were too much, and they left the lobby. I haven't found an experience like that ever again, but God it was amazing. My GF used to play WoW a lot, and was playing with her guild, and during a break she started playing with her dog and baby talking to it. She accidentally hadn't muted her mic so her whole guild was listening, and they kept quiet and recorded it. The audio track was on the guild website for a while. Some friends and I were playing Call of Duty the day Bernie Mac died. When teams were made they were all on one team and my team was all random Americans. When we finally convinced him he was quiet for a few seconds then, in a very distraught tone, said, "Man, I gotta call my mama," and left the game. I was on a co-op mission on a WW2 flight sim. There was around 16 of us playing, and one guy was pretty wasted. We were cruising along on the way to the target area when suddenly we started hearing snoring. Loud snoring. Some guys started yelling "wake up," but to no avail, and shortly after we hear a loud crashing and rattling over comms, followed by a "AWW fuck, son of a bitch, I'm fucking bleeding." Guy passed out and smashed his head on the floor. Couldn't finish the mission cause we all were laughing so hard. Raided with a gal during Blackwing Lair who had 2 kids around the same age. It'd be around 11 PM and we'd hear these elementary school age kids say stuff like "Mommy we are hungry," and she'd respond with "Not now mom is raiding." We booted her after a month though, because she was an awful healer. Also there was the off tank during Black Temple that lived with his mother for cultural reasons. Every now and then, we'd hear his mom start shouting at him in some North African language and he'd start shouting right back. Dude was a complete fuckwit and would not use push to talk. Real arrogant motherfucker, but a great tank that we had trouble replacing. Not too strange, but a guy I raid with has voice activation instead of push to talk. so occasionally we'll hear him talking to his wife or daughter. Some examples. Where's the remote? I don't know. Love you baby. To which the whole guild responds in, or was, love you toos, and giggles. Was playing Dawn of War on TeamSpeak and this guy got in a loud, heated argument accusing his wife of having an affair because she walked in the door at like midnight. We were going to kick him from the channel, but it got really juicy. Then it got scary. Then it got sad. I think he was playing to distract himself. I joined the COD lobby to hear this dialogue between two other gamers. Hey man, do you remember your first blowjob? Yep. What did it taste like? Ahaha. Blood. Wah. What? A few years ago, I was in a Rift guild with the strangest California desert hicks. This couple lived in the hills outside San Diego on some big piece of property with their kids and the guy's parents. They were actually decent enough of players. He was an especially solid tank, but damn if they didn't interrupt raid for the craziest of reasons. One week it was kid with a broken arm. The next, the in-laws roof was on fire. The frequency and kind of incident were always enough to make the rest of us wildly speculate about what the hell kind of living situation these people had. The best time they interrupted raid, guys, we gotta take 20, the kangaroo is loose again. My raid group was pretty diverse, 2 guys from the Bronx, SP, myself and another from the UK and a few from Norway, Finland and 1 from Ukraine. We were pretty new to the game and hadn't cleared the final boss of a very tough raid yet, but we were coming close. One of the Bronx guys died straight away, lag issues constantly, but we'll never kick him, but proceeded to do a live freestyle rap about what each person was doing in the raid in lieu of a commentary. Shit was amazing. Wish we had recording software back then. Second was the Ukraine guy. Just signs on to TS one day and says war has broken out, I won't be on for the raid laughs. Signs out and repeats the same message in game to the guilders who weren't on TS. Kinda worried for a few weeks, but he eventually managed to contact one of us via our forum to say all was well, and he'd moved to a new/safer city with family while things die down. Can't wait for him to get back. His DPS was straight up demonic. Not strange but caught me really off guard. A CS server I used to frequent, a guy canon voicer comes to say goodbye like a normal person would, but what he said was that he just finished chemo and that he would play during his treatments. Now that he wasn't getting chemo he wouldn't have that time to play anymore. It was a nice change to hear after the usual chatter. That'll always stick with me. Was playing Call of Duty a few years ago and there was a bunch of kids mouthing off, I'm 35. I generally ignored it and tried to be a good sport because they were just being kids. I get my ass totally handed to me, as usual, and I'm sitting in the lobby after a particularly brutal loss where none of the kids goes, hey my name, do you like dragons? Yeah I guess. That's good because I was dragging my nuts across you face the entire game. I'll admit, I still laugh thinking about it now.